Hello, Star Citizens, and welcome to another episode of Star Citizen Nightly. This one will be a fairly quick one because there wasn't that much news. I did watch the Inside Star Citizen, and I have a few thoughts. First, I like that they split the well, first of all, it was awesome. That should be the first thing. The visuals for the jump points look amazing. And I like the kind of system where it's like you have to be intentional about, going to a jump point and like focusing in on it and aligning and getting close enough, but you can't get that close if you're not aligned. Like, it's like a process. It makes you feel like you're actually participating in going to the next system rather than it just being like, oh, I've reached a certain point, I just press X and then boom, I'm in another system. Like, no, it's more intentional than that. You have to know what you're doing. Like somebody who just started the game could probably figure it out, but it's not something that's like, oh, it's so simple a monkey could do it, Well, maybe it is that simple. So that was the first thing. I thought it was awesome. I like that they did, I like that it was the 200th episode and they did the whole, list everybody who's ever participated thing. I think that was really cool too. But the jump point thing that I'm most interested in is the fact that you come out of the jump point at a random place, not just like you're coming out like this is the jump point exit and it's the jump point entry. No, when you come out of hyperspace, you basically, well, I don't know if it's hyperspace. Is hyperspace quantums? I don't know. Whatever it is, jump point space. We'll say jump point space. When you come out of jump point space, like, nobody can camp where you're coming out at because nobody's going to know where you're coming out at. Now, there might be like maybe, only 10 areas where a person might potentially jump out at, but you don't know which one they're going to come out at. And you can imagine them being so spread apart that, it's not like you could just hurry up and get to the other one if they don't show up at the one that you're camping out. So I love that feature because I think that is going to be one of those things where it's going to save us a lot of griefing. And, every time you have something like this where there's a major entry point, people are going to try to block it. People are going to try to camp it. And yeah, I like that they kind of nip that in the bud going in. I don't like that they don't already have something to keep people from blocking. I mean, yeah, you have to align to the target, but somebody could align to the target just enough to like sit there. They could align to the target, align to the jump point and then go very close and then just not do anything. They could just sit there. So maybe we need a timer on that as well. Like, not for how quickly you get aligned, but like the closer you get, the faster the timer goes, or the amount on the timer drops or something like that. And then, maybe something starts shooting at you or something. I don't know. But generally, I was impressed. I thought it would be a lot more. You would be a lot more involved in the driving through the tunnel, but it looks like you do still have to avoid the sides, and you do have to like avoid little barriers that if you hit them, they'll cause distortion damage. Like if you hit the sides, and if you don't avoid the little parts that you need to, then you'll get distortion damage on your ship. And then I like their solution with jump when you come out of the jump point. If you accidentally come out of it, like you get too much distortion damage on your ship, or you fall through because you hit something you weren't supposed to, you'll either be in Stanton or you'll be in closer to the destination depending on when it happened, but you'll be like in deep space and you'll have to like quantum and fly your way back to regular space. So I like that idea. I think it should be a little punishing because we don't want people to just be like, oh, well, I'll just drop out and I don't have to do this 3-minute thing. It should be a longer than 3-minute trip. If the jump point is 3 minutes to get through, then it should be at least a 4-minute trip for anybody who falls out, right? So making give people a reason to actually go through the jump point the way they're supposed to. All right. That's all I got to say about jump points. I thought it was a pretty cool episode. I think it was very, celebratory. It was, really celebrating the 500th episode of the show in general, and I think the 200th episode of inside Star Citizen. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, let's get into the news stuff, which there isn't that much. Like I said, the jump point thing. It looks like the gameplay that's being added for Evocati in this newest Evocati patch is adjusted mission tagged cargo resale value when sold outside the mission. So my guess is if you steal somebody's cargo, like you're on a mission and you're like, maybe it's to get Quantanium or something else that's like super rare, and you're supposed to take it from one destination A to B, but instead you go take it to destination C, and then you sell it to somebody that you weren't supposed to, that there's going to be the resale value on that is probably either going to be lower or higher. Maybe you can get paid more to steal this and take it to somewhere else. But obviously you're going to take a reputation hit for that, whatever money you make from that. And generally reputation is more valuable than money until you get into like the millions and millions. But my guess is mostly it's going to be a lower resale value because it's going to be marked as like stolen or something. Like maybe the Cargo Runners Guild or something will say like, hey, that if you run across this, cargo with the AP initials on it, then that's my cargo and it's stolen, so don't buy it. Or if you do buy it for cheap. Buy it for less than I was going to give them for it, and then I'll buy it from you or something like that. So yeah, something like that. I think it's pretty cool. If you want, you can pause and look at the known issues. Still no cargo commodity rebalance dynamic event blockade runner moving in, and here you can pause and look at the bug fixes. So this is from yesterday. This is the Evocati new patch. It actually came out yesterday, but I didn't do an episode yesterday, so I just wanted to include that in there. The Atmo Esports event, it looks like it's getting some support. You got Xylo basically saying we'll be there. So this is going to be there's going to be some devs here at the Atmo Esports event. So for people who are maybe thinking they don't want to go, this is probably the best time to go. I've never been to an Atmo event. I forgot to check my ticket to see if I can actually go to this before my flight leaves. But I would love to go to, if I'm going to go to one and see what it's all about, I think I would want to go to something like this where it's, at a CIG sponsored event. And like, I'm not a huge fan of racing in general. But at some point I might get into it just to like, I think it'll help with like learning how to pilot better and stuff like that. But I gotta, I don't know if there's anybody that's on YouTube that's like helping people learn how to fly ships, like for racing, like in a way that's really good for racing. But I think that would be pretty cool. But other than that though, I really wouldn't mind getting into wheeled vehicle races, because I think that one might be the most fun, especially if we're going like over, certain terrain and stuff, and there's choke points and stuff like that. So that might be more of my thing, like getting into a ship. Because although I don't particularly play a lot of racing games, I think I would be interested in like hopping in, an Ursa and just seeing who can get there the fastest, right? I think that would be pretty cool. So I'm going to check it out, and I'll kind of let this event be my like introduction to Star Citizen racing, and especially because it's happening in master modes now. So I think that's going to be huge. Like I didn't really want to get too deep into like learning how to fly ships super well until master modes arrived and it got tuned a little bit. So now that it's here, I can kind of see, okay, this is what people are doing with these ships in master modes. And so yeah, there's that. But yeah, it looks like it's going to have some decent support from CIG devs. And lastly, the guide system issue has been fixed. So this person says, I was just trying to start the FF event on Spectrum yesterday, so I logged in to the guide system action. I tagged myself as an instructor a few times, and then the page turned blank. I logged out, logged in, so on and so forth. I no longer have any idea how to fix the problem. And then they have this screenshot here, and it's just blank. So basically there was a blank page, and that part is fixed. So the issue with the blank page has now been fixed. That was really all the news that we had. One note I have, I do have a, I think I have a video coming out tomorrow that is going to be a ship review. I'm gonna try to get back into ship reviews a little bit more heavy because I'm running out of time to get all these reviews done by CitizenCon. So yeah, I think I only have 3 months exact. I think I have about 3 months exactly to get them all done. I think I have like 60 ships left and 90 days to review all of them. So not a lot of time. So I'm gonna have to start hitting those pretty heavy. Yeah, and you might see two a days on some days, just so I can, start getting those through. I've been doing a lot of research on these ships, and flying as many of them as I can. Sometimes I only get, a few minutes with ships that I don't own, but luckily I own 26 ships, I think. So, I get enough time for the most part. And then, the ones I don't, I tend to rent. And then at the very least, I'll fly an arena commander. If, it depends on time. But I try to put hands on to every ship that I review and see what I like about it, don't like about it. And yeah, it's, obviously if it's in concept, I can't do that. But yeah, look to have a few more ship reviews coming your way soon. And yeah, don't be surprised if you get a few of those a day. The other thing is, as I said, we're giving away the Drake Vulture this month. So if you want to enter that, make sure you like or dislike a video. Make sure you leave a comment and make sure you're subscribed. And you will be entered to win that. That'll be given away at the end of this month. And of course, if we, hit that 5,000 mark before the end of July, then that prize will go up to at least a $400 value ship. Yeah. So I kind of, saw a few people that were like $400. What ship is that? But that could also be up to a $475 ship. So $400 range is the idea. Could be anywhere from a $375 ship to a $475 ship. I think I would let the winner pick, from like maybe 3 ships or something. So yeah, we'd do something like that, but you only got 12 days to make that happen. So, hey, I'm perfectly fine just giving away a Vulture. Vulture is a great ship. And a lot of people I think I saw in the comments said that they like the Vulture. So I'm perfectly fine giving that away. But all right, that's it for this one. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for spending your time with us. Peace.